Hey everybody, I'm Chris Langswager. Hope everyone had a great weekend. So I'm an instructor at Monroe Community College. I teach automotive technology, and in the past I've had a bunch of students that are foreign. Um, they seem to, when they come to school, their advisor directs them towards a skilled trade, so they can learn a trade and go out and feed their families and all that stuff. And there's a lot of varied background from these students over the past couple of years. This is my third year teaching now. I've had several students from Nepal for some reason. I think I've had about 5 from Nepal, Thailand, one from China, and their language abilities vary quite a bit. But what I chose to do and chose to observe is an ESL class, for students, English is their second language, to kind of a little better understand what they go through, before they actually get to whatever program they're going to. A lot of these students, which actually is kind of interesting, because a lot of these students, they come maybe already having their math done, and the math isn't too complicated. They don't have to be at too high a level for our program. But a lot of these students, may have already done 3-4 semesters of school before they even get to our 2-year program. And a lot of students, American students, they don't understand the opportunities that they have available to them, as opposed to these students. Some are refugees, and then they come here and they're able to go to school. They're able to learn a trade and learn a skill that can feed their families. I think it takes a lot of grit and a lot of tenacity for these students to be able to do that. So my observation with the class, I was actually surprised. The students that were in the class were not like my students at all. Like, I think I was kind of surprised that they were in that class, just talking to them verbally. Like, their English was pretty good. A couple of students, spoke Spanish. I think there was one student from an African country, but overall, I think it was one of the middle line ESL classes. So they read 3 novels. One of the ones they were doing right now was, or when I was in there, was set in the 1950s, and they all had really good feedback on it, but kind of learning that the culture of America and maybe the historical culture, I thought was really interesting. One thing I really thought was interesting is that even though when I was only there was only 6 students in the class, a couple of them were absent, but the same dynamics held up. You had the couple, like 3 of them were really interested. One of them was kind of like yawning like really loud, like to try to get attention. But the instructor did a really good job of keeping all those students more or less interested. The ones that were trying to get attention, kind of brought up and made them demonstrate things in front of the class, or she put a paragraph on the board and they were working on paraphrasing, so they would read the paragraph and then try to paraphrase it, which I thought was a really good exercise. So a lot of these skills that we take for granted, language wise, I got a lot of respect. I think I have more respect for students that actually go through these steps and through these programs. Now that I understand a little bit more what they do. So, hope you guys enjoyed the quick little video, and look forward to hearing what you guys all have to say. Bye-bye.